Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living God who is one. Okay? There are no gods beside the Supreme Spirit of Truth. You must understand that. Everything that's created on this plane of existence in carbon, which is 666, is all to the glory of the Supreme Spirit. Though the Supreme Spirit didn't create the serpent race, something was permitted and given permission to create itself in an image, that first God in Genesis 1:26 and 27. Clean and unclean food. We're here at Deuteronomy chapter 14. You are the children of the Lord your God. Do not cut yourselves or shave in front of your heads for the dead. For you are people holy to the Lord your God. Out of all the people on the face of the earth, the Lord has chosen you to be his treasured possession. Okay? His treasured possession. Possession on this plane of existence, folks, isn't a good thing. Okay? His children that he loves, he cherishes. He's tender, warm, compassionate, kind. Okay? The service of the Creator, the Supreme Spirit, one versus many gods. But the children on this plane of existence are a chosen treasure, and they are of his possession. He possesses you. Do not eat any detestable thing. These are the animals you may eat: the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roe deer, the wild goat, the ibex, the antelope, and the mountain sheep. You may eat any animals that has a divided hoof and that chews the cud. However, of those that chew the cud or that have a divided hoof, you may not eat the camel, the rabbit, or the hyrax, although they chew the cud. They do not have a divided hoof. They are ceremonially unclean for you. The pig is also unclean. Although it has a divided hoof, it does not chew the cud. You are not to eat of their meat or touch their carcasses. And what is shoved down everybody's face in this plane of existence? Pigs, right? When I started falling into the truth, you understand that these people used to put the most horrendous, nasty, vile kind of content in my channel. I mean, them pouring gasoline on pigs in a ditch and setting them on fire. Okay, people wallowing in blood. You know, they used to do some nasty stuff. Okay, what I've discovered about this plane of existence, folks, what's going on behind closed doors is very evil. Okay? It's evil. You need to wake up. You are in a plane of existence that is death. This is not the kingdom of heaven. This place isn't it, okay? This place is a heaven for Satan. Remember, in the beginning, everything starts with in the beginning. Here, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, Bible Hub. In the beginning, when God created the heaven and the earth, the beginning is what? The beginning is the fall. That's what it means, okay? It doesn't mean the beginning of time. Or, excuse me, I retract that. It means the beginning of time, but it doesn't mean the beginning of creation. It means the commencement of this reality construct that was created is in the beginning. Because before there can be a beginning, then there had to have been a before. Creation existed before. So in the beginning, God created the heaven, which is space, the heavens, plural. Here you have heavens. A lot of different verses as well. Bible Hub, NIV. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. This took me 3 times to pull this up with my voice command. They're already starting in. I'm 4 minutes into my video and they're already messing with my voice commands. God created the heavens, okay? looking over here to the left, in the beginning, God created the heavens. Heavens. Here's one. God created the heaven, singular. Because the heaven and the earth were once created. Because in order to have matter, you have to have some place to put that matter. You need space for matter, okay? And before the commencement of time, there was just that, before the beginning. In the beginning, before the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Well, what God are we talking about here? A God that was given permission. This God here is what we're being told. In the beginning was the Word, God, Jesus. This God here, Jesus, in the beginning. God created the heaven and earth. This God here is the Word. He formed the earth. See, if you understand that mankind is 666, it's created on the sixth day. This is mankind. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Because this God here is Elohim. Elohim equals plural of Eloah, and Eloah is God's in the ordinary sense, but specifically used of the Supreme Spirit, something that is used. Of all the creatures living in the water, you may eat any that has fins and scales, but anything that does not have fins and scales you may not eat, for it is unclean. You may eat any unclean bird, but these you may not eat: the eagle, the vulture, the black vulture, the red kite, the black kite, and the kind of falcon, any kind of raven, the horned owl, the screeched owl, the gull, any kind of hawk, the little owl, the gray owl, the white owl, the desert owl, the osprey, the cormorant, the stork, and any kind of heron, the hoopie, and the bat. All flying insects are unclean to you. Do not eat them, but any winged creature that is clean you may eat. Do not eat anything you find already dead. You may give it to the foreigner residing in any of the towns, and you may eat it. You may give it to the foreigner residing in any of your towns, and they may eat it, or you may sell it to any other foreigner. But you are a people holy to the Lord your God. So don't eat dead meat, but feed it to other people. Feed it to the goat demons. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. Tithes. Be sure to set aside 1/10 of all that your fields produce each year. Eat the tithes of your grain, new wine and olives, and the firstborn, your herds and flocks, in the presence of the Lord your God, at the place he will choose as a dwelling for his name, so that you may learn to revere the Lord your God always. But if that place is too distant, and you have been blessed by the Lord your God and cannot carry your tithe, because the place where the Lord will choose to put his name is so far away, then exchange your tithe for silver, and take the silver with you, and go to the place the Lord your God will choose. Use the silver to buy whatever you like: cattle, sheep, wine, or other fermented drinks, or anything you wish. Then you and your household shall eat there in the presence of the Lord your God, and rejoice. And do not neglect the Levites living in your towns, for they have no allotment or inheritance of their own. At the end of every 3 years, bring all the tithes of the year's produce and store it in your towns, so that the Levites, who have no allotment or inheritance of their own, and the foreigner and the fatherless and the widows who live in your town may come and eat and be satisfied, and so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands. Now, before the work of your hands ever existed, there was Adam and Eve in the garden, correct? So work didn't exist for Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were basically two happy little souls just wandering through a beautiful existence that had no death, had no sin, it was perfect. It was God, the supreme spirit of truth's idea of perfectness. All right. And then something evil came in to the garden and conned that man. This man that's created here in Genesis 1, let's see, 27 here. So God created man in his own image. This is the devil creating himself. Well, what do you mean the devil creating himself? Well, God created everything that was both good and evil. You understand that? So this God here isn't the supreme God. It's something that is used of the supreme God. This God is creating himself in an image right here. In an image, this God that's creating himself in an image is the idol, and this is on the 6th day. Folks, this is easy peasy. I've been teaching this for so long, and you hear it almost in every lesson that I share, but it needs to be consistent so you guys understand what's going on the 6th day of creation. In Genesis 1:25, God creates the beast, okay? And then this has everything to do with Genesis or Revelations 13:18 Bible Hub. Remember, the parable here is calling for wisdom, okay? Wisdom is insight, okay? It is a skill, human or divine, not Gentile, okay? It doesn't say human or Gentile. It says human or divine, and it is from Sophis, which is wisdom, Sophia, okay? Which brings me into the next part of our lesson. Now, I know for a lot of you that this is going to be off. You know, you're asking yourselves, well, what does any of this have to do with the Bible? Well, because this is truly a spiritual war that's going on. Okay. This new robot here that they've created, this Indian robot, they have made this robot here the innovative ambassador to the United Nations. A robot, okay? And I've been telling people for a long time that we live in some kind of robotic system, some kind of simulation. Okay, you guys remember this movie here, Tron? And he's inside of a machine, and that's what the whole... I've never seen this movie, and if I did see it, it was so long ago that I don't remember anything about it. I just know that the Spirit is telling me to let you know that they are trying to create a transhumanism world between human and machine. Pure energy. That's what I'm saying, is we live inside of this machine. This whole experience that you are living in this reality is a fake illusion. It doesn't even exist.
No chance, user. Your brakes are faster than ours. Use the lowest. Now this I can
do. So these guys, they play inside of this game here, right? And what they got to do is they got to cut the other person off. It's kind of like you're inside. I don't know if any of you remember the game Tron. I played it a few times and stuff. And you ride on a motorcycle and you try to take as much space as you possibly can, and then you cut the other person off where it doesn't have any place to go, and ultimately it crashes into its own wall that was built around it. And that's what the game simulation is all about. Right. There. What do we have, folks, right here? That's a smaller portal, man. That's your portal from right here. Right here, folks. This is your CERN. That's what you're looking at here. And these people here have found a way to open a portal through this right here. Hope that I didn't play too much of it right there. So he's just now coming awake right now. They were getting ready to give him an upload. So what are they saying here in this movie that we're watching? This is Total Recall. This is the newer Total Recall, not the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Colin Farrell. What they're telling us with the recall is that they have participated. Remember in the original one where Arnold Schwarzenegger is walking in to pet whatever it is, and they're checking it. He's checking in on it, and they do a scan of his brain and everything. You see, because you have to be the one to participate in this in this information and what's going on. Well, what do I mean? How are they ever going to get us to accept this kind of technology here? Huh? Because they're doing brain stem surgery and stuff now. And what does it, everything that's taking place in the world right now here today is prophecies that are unfolding inside of the Bible. Remember, Satan said that he's going to make the lame walk. He's going to make the blind see and the deaf hear. Well, how's he going to do that? How's he going to get us to accept this kind of technology right here? Right here, Neuralink technology. Okay, what he's going to do, what Neuralink technology is trying to do right now is Elon, which is Leon, is working with Neuralink, and this Neuralink is an attachment that goes inside of the brain. So what are they doing here? This plane of existence. I want you to really consider deeply what it is I'm going to share with you right now. This plane of existence here seems to be terraforming towards a machine-based thing. Well, what is all this here? What are all these air balloons and everything with these wires attached to them? Well, this is a representation of the modern day towers, internet towers, right here. Modern day satellite towers. I don't know about you, but I live right down the street, and there's one of these towers that's right down the street. It's got so much power going into it. Kind of looks like this one here, but only even more hardware is lining in. Hundreds of thousands of volts. And then this is the field. This is kind of the field that these towers are putting off. And they needed these towers to within a location one another, because these are short frequency, like this here. These are short frequencies. These are why they needed these towers so close to one another, because the 5G network itself can only travel so far at a distance. You take this with also the chemtrails, right? The poison in the foods, the poison in the water. I want you to think of what I'm saying. What human being would destroy its own water supply? What human being would destroy its own food supply? You have to start recognizing that these are not human beings. It's a must for the soul. What is this? This is a picture of Jesus Christ and what's he standing behind? He himself is standing behind CERN, or in front of CERN, the sun. This is CERN. I don't care how you guys tried to deny this picture right here. This technology that we're going into today is not old technology. It is not new technology. It's old technology that's being recycled. It's being reset. We come as a people, we come to a certain point in our evolution, I would say, for the Gentile, that it can no longer take you anywhere. What it does is it takes you to this plane of technology takes you to a place where it has completely dumbed you down. Think of what I'm going to say here. Technology today has come where you're asking who? You're asking Sophia here. You're asking technology like this. This is the innovative ambassador to the United Nations. Do you know how high that position is? They've just put a machine in power over you. There's nowhere for this to go but other than what they've been telling us in these movies like The Terminator. And what I'm trying to share with you, I'm proving to you guys that we live in a 666 system. All right? Okay, here you're looking at my chalkboard here. You're looking at the alphabet A through Z gematria, because gematria is something that mankind uses, all right? Now, if you look to the right over here, the very first Macintosh computer that was ever a personal home computer, you can Google this yourself, was $666.66. Remember, the whole purpose here is I'm trying to tell you that we live in some kind of simulation. When you add the sum of the word, if you count in increments of 6, A through Z, and you count all the way through our alphabet, and you add up the word computer, it also comes to 666. Okay, this isn't coincidence, folks. I'm teaching you that we have possibly quite literally fallen in some kind of virtual reality, and that this world here that we're living is an illusion. And sadly, for this place here, this is where people are getting their wisdom from. You understand? We've programmed robots because what? We're going to make them slaves. Exactly what had happened to us. The only difference is we are biological robots. And that's what these people want to do. They want to make a robot for themselves as well, a humanoid robot. And then anytime you're trying to create something in order for it to be a slave, then you are literally going to be turned into a slave yourself. So we're looking here. Give me a second. See, this is why they're making a robot nation. iRobot. Okay, this stuff is in the mix. This is where transhumanism is taking us. They're telling us that we need to connect with this computer system, man, so that you can just think things into existence. Remember, Satan says that he's going to make the lame walk, he's going to make the deaf hear, the blind see, and he's going to raise people from the dead. This technology that they're leading to is going to be able to raise a dead soul by simply taking its conscience and downloading it and then putting it into a disc and inserting it. And how are they going to get us to accept all this? Like this right here. Using it on our baby children and stuff. See, these are children that can't hear. All right? So they're cutting out this little piece of the brain, or not cutting out the brain, excuse me, but cutting out a little piece of the skull and attaching this piece here. And now these children can hear. So this is the technology where what they're doing is they're drilling out these heads. And I got to be honest with you, man. It's pretty touching, man. I watched the video of these kids and stuff, and it kind of brought tears to my eyes. But this is how they're going to use it to normalize this kind of technology. The sad part about it is by doing this, eventually they're going to try pushing it on all of those of humanity. They're going to want everybody to go ahead and do this. Attaching these sensors to a child's head. Can you imagine? Now these parents, they're crying, they're in tears. And I get it, man. Your kid don't hear, and then all of a sudden your child can hear. Well, this is technology that's going to disconnect you for eternity. Once you start putting chips and stuff inside of your head, this is no game. This system we live in is trying to trap your soul inside of a quantum computer. These children are hearing for the very first time. I'm telling you that it was beautiful. more pictures of these children. So this is how the Elon is going to make all this normalized, by using the children, telling you that it's for medical reason. He's going to make the deaf hear, the blind see. This is all technology that they're talking about. This isn't miracles of a mind where Jesus is walking around and touching people and they're being healed. This is technology that was being used, being baptized into technology. Our world is on ley lines and platforms and energy. We are completely, totally energy beings. We're not flesh and blood. And all of us equally are living on a grid, and we're part of that grid. This is why they want to keep us inside of the cities and stuff. I'm telling you, man, pack up. Just as a practical joke, man, tell your boss and stuff that you're leaving and that you're cutting off grid and you're heading out to the forest and you're gonna live off of nature from here on out. Watch how people all of a sudden start reacting around you. They'll start treating you real kind and really sweet and pleasant. They'll put on their fake smiles and shit because they don't want you off the grid. They want you in the cities. They want you part of the wild animals inside of the city. And this technology here, these mind melding technology, they're putting it right in front of your face. You know, with the movies like The Matrix and everything, they're telling us straight out what's going on, and people aren't adapting. They're not realizing that we're in some type of simulation, and this is why transhumanism is taking place, and they're trying to create man, and they're trying to make it more suitable for the computer, wouldn't you say? What human's going to poison our water, folks? These aren't human beings. These are Arcadians. These are beasts. These are demons. These are devils, literally trying to turn you into a computer, making it all part of a unisys. And what's una? Una is one system. That's what they're trying to make us, is one system, a robotic system. They're literally trying to create robots to be their slaves, and then in turn, what's going to happen is we're going to be their slaves. So here we're at Brother Sanchez's channel, Brother Sanchez TV, man. And this is where we're rolling into. This is a scene from The Creator. And they're showing you that these robotics are what you're going to be leaning on. As soon as you turn these robotics, if these robots become aware, self-aware, conscious themselves, and then what? They're not going to want to be slaves any more than we're not going to want to be slaves. So all this that's taking place right now is to make it where you are slowly being indoctrinated to this kind of behavior, that this is okay. I mean, you just can't come out, folks, and tear the skin off of these people. I believe, like Brother Sanchez says, is that we have some type of people that have already downloaded their conscience onto a machine, and then that's the way it is. These machines that have been downloaded to their conscience shall never be free of the system. This is what it means that when it says that, you know, they will cry out for death and it'll never come, because you've placed your conscience inside of a disc, inside of a simulation here. This simulation that we live in is simply a rebirth into this plane of existence, and they're showing you Jesus himself. The depictions of our ancestors are telling you. Look, that's a photo of Jesus. Okay, he's in front of CERN, coming out of a warped hole right there. It's right in front of your face. Folks, that's CERN. Okay, now if you want to hear some awesome articulated information about this kind of stuff that goes way deeper than I could ever explain it, pop over there to Brother Sanchez's channel, check him out, give him a shot, listen to the wisdom that pours from this man. He can break down this system The same way that I break down 666. Okay, this isn't my forte. This is his forte. My forte is explaining to you about the creation story and helping you to understand that there is a beast. That this here, right here, this quantum computer, this is the belly of the beast right here. Okay, they're trying to pop a wormhole, some type of Stargate. See, this is what we're talking about. Stargate. These people are literally trying to walk through stargates. Our ancestors could have already walked through these stargates just like that. What I'm sharing with you guys isn't any joke. It's something to give a strong consideration to. Okay? It's imperative for your soul to understand that we're in some kind of game simulation. Hollywood is telling us over and over and over we live in a 666 game simulation. I hope this helps you and that you're having a wonderful day. This is White Raptor News Ministries.